It's right. And at the beginning, I'll just ask people just to tell me which city they're in. They can type it so that you don't take up too much time. They can just type the city that they're located in. All right, so we'll follow the agenda that we have. Nordia, then Karima. Then you will introduce Kamisha and Petal. Then I'll do VMBS, Suzette. And then Douglas and Kenron. And then we just have a final Q&A just in case there's some questions that people didn't get to ask. We can have them ask it at that time. Hopefully it doesn't go over, say, 10, 15 minutes. And then I'll introduce the ambassador, the IDS ambassador for Southern USA, Major Ford.
Oh, wow.
So he will do the closing for IDS, and then we'll just go straight into the vote of thanks after that. And that's it.
Major Ford.
Yay.
There's a lady who took over she's the chairperson now for the Asia and Pacific region in terms of healthcare services.
Yes, she is in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought of inviting them, but I realized that it's going to be pretty late. It would have been like nearly midnight for them. So I thought, yeah, we'll just keep it with us. And it's even 9 p.m. in Japan. It's also late there.
Mm. Mm-hmm. All right, then we can have something for them. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they'll be interested as well, or maybe they have their own.
They can have their own. I think the ambassador there, she does a lot of stuff for the group.
That's great.
Yeah, they organize lots of events for the Jamaicans there. So, yeah, she goes webinars and stuff for them as well.
You seem so disconnected here.
I know.
Yeah, there are many teachers who are coming in, new teachers, and I've been trying to help them, but there's just this, they're kind of lost. They feel kind of lost.
Yeah. Well, that's what we try to do with this, with the association. I mean, we're a lot more active before, and I'm going to put an appeal out tonight. If anyone in China is interested in being more active and being a part of it, then we're open, because we lost a lot of our exec members. They went back to Jamaica or other countries. So we need new people, fresh blood. So if there are people who are interested in taking up the leadership, and basically we've been the ones. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, because we all have the same mission. Yes. We are all trying to do the same thing. So why you're doing it over there and I'm doing it over there? It doesn't make any sense. Let us just combine our efforts and ensure that our people are supported. And there are so many more coming in.
Yes. And I know exactly how it feels, because when I came, there was nobody to help me. And I've been helping like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over the years. So I know exactly how it feels, especially coming from Jamaica for the first time. I mean, there are people who are coming from other countries. It's a little bit different for them. But if you're coming directly from Jamaica for the very first time, it's a bit daunting.
What a shock.
There's a lot that we have a lot of people with experience. And I love sometimes in the groups, in the teachers group, people would post questions about a school, have you worked for this school? What's your feedback? And then people let them know, listen, don't go there. Avoid this school, because I've taught there. This is my experience. And I think we have lots and lots of people with similar experiences that can help each other, but we don't know. So you're coming in, you don't know, and you think you're on your own when you don't have to be. So I'd love to see us galvanize and, become more active. We were very, very active before. We're always hosting events, helping people. We had events all over China, trying to get people connected. And I think we should go back to that.
Yeah, because I remember about 2 years ago, Felicia and a couple of us.
Yes, they did their event.
Yeah.
Right. That was so
I
fun.
I had to encourage a new teacher just the other day. I was saying to her, listen, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Feel that you're alone and you're the only one going through this. And she's so
Mhm.
discouraged with what's happening with her. I said, listen, there are persons here who can help. You just have to
Mhm.
reach out,
Mhm.
connect with persons, and you'll be able to get the support that you need.
Mhm. And you can
So,
say that too at in your closing. You could also say that to the group. I mean, I will say it at the beginning. You can say it at the end for those who will join us later. Just reminding people, if you're here and you're in China, you're not alone. You know, you can reach out to any one of us and join one of the groups. If you have a question, you can ask the question there and we're able to help each other. Yeah.
but I guess persons are just turned off. All that's happening, and well, many persons have left, left China and all that. So you have this. We don't even know how many persons are actually here.
Yeah. We did the JAC did we had developed this online registration. When did you come? When did you arrive?
2019.
Huh? 2019?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were here when we did that. We sent out a post to everyone asking you to register online so we could get a head count of all the people who are here, especially during COVID. And they just kind of threw that out the window. They never did use it. And the whole point was to be able to access the Jamaicans, know where we are, what we're doing, and they just never did use it. So it's very unfortunate.
We need to do a new one. We need to do one more because there are so many new persons I've seen being added in the groups, new teachers, whether they're new or they just decide to just, okay, let me have a voice somewhere, or let me, so.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
Your
wow.
message. Yes, 100. Yes. And I've been working on my side, trying to get persons to register because they're not used to this kind of link, which is a link and all that. So I have persons who have been helping to register for this, persons who are home and who really need their own little space on Jamrock.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a link on YouTube. So I don't know if you want to post, well, you could post it somewhere, but there's a link that you could actually sign in on YouTube directly. Amish, can you share it on here, please? Or do you prefer, I can send it to you, actually.
Thanks.
Jenny.
Hello, Amish. Nice meeting you. My camera is always so dark. This lighting just the
lighting,
yeah. No matter what I do, it's just awful.
And you do a lot of webinars, so you need to you need to have something. I love you. Amish, can we allow the speakers, if they're on, to let them in early so that we can just kind of talk with them before we start? If you can identify them. I hope, Miss. Okay, thank you. I sent it to you, Jenny.
Thanks.
I just got up to post something and I cut myself. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, I was cutting with the scissors and just realized that I've cut my finger. It's bleeding. Okay. Oh, Nordia is here. Hi, Nordia.
Welcome, Nordia.
Shamoy is here.
Hi, Doc.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, I still show my face. I come in. Hi, Lady Jen.
Welcome. I've been longing to meet you, lady. Come on, let me see your face.
I can't show it yet. I come in.
You can't show it yet. Nordia, she kept telling me, I can't wait to meet you. I think you guys will have a lot to do together too.
I am sure. I come in.
Yeah, man, no problem. Welcome, Stanley.
Thank you so much, Nicolene. Thank you.
Welcome.
Major Ford. So you are based in the US, in Florida, right?
No, I'm in Atlanta, actually.
Oh, you're in Atlanta. My dad lives in Atlanta.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, Jonesboro, just a little bit.
Jonesboro.
out.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. That's not too far from me. But you know what they say, a major is synonymous with major disaster, major catastrophe.
No. Major goodness, man. Major goodness.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Nice. Wonderful.
Yes. Nordia is standing by, I'm sure.
Yes. And Mr. Stewart is here.
Okay.
Welcome, Douglas.
With an associate. So if I might ask, Doc, where are you based?
I'm in Shanghai.
Okay.
Shanghai, China.
Okay, you're a person in Shanghai. And Jenny?
Yes. Jenny and I are both in Shanghai. I'm in Shanghai. Both in China.
Okay, you're a person in Shanghai. And Jenny?
Yes. Jenny and I are both in Shanghai. I'm in Shanghai.
The
Someone have their microphone.
Yes, there's a feedback.
Feedback. Who is it? Someone have their microphone.
Right. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Dr. Nicolene.
Hi.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Is that Douglas? Oh, I think
still getting
Douglas has.
feedback?
Yes, that's.
It's stopped now.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right,
No
great.
more feedback.
All right, so I'm Percy.
Oh,
I'm from the IDS team. I'm one of those persons in the background, so just introduce myself. So you were speaking to me just now, not Omish.
oh, okay.
So far we've tried to let in the speakers that we've seen in the waiting room. And we're live on YouTube, so persons can see you. So we're good to go on the YouTube platform. We'll be using up the chat behind the scene here.
Okay.
But you have our support. So
Wonderful.
I'll be on Percy. Omish will be on. And Shamoy also is a member of the team.
Wonderful. So Shamoy, Percy, and Omish. And you'll feed us any questions from YouTube if people have questions.
Right, so I'm jumping back in the background because that's where I live.
All right. It's okay.
But
Thank
nice
you,
to meet
Percy.
you.
Wait a minute.
All
Do you
right,
see
bye-bye.
me,
Yeah,
Samuel
Doug, you're fresh.
Smith?
If you're hearing me, big up.
Yeah.
Stanley.
Yes, sir,
Big up.
Percy. I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right.
Yes.
All right. whoever is letting people in, please look for Karima. I think
Amish.
she's already there. Karima Higgins. She's one of
Yes,
our
and please look
speakers.
for Kamisha Samuel Smith from NHD. Kamisha Samuels Smith.
Yeah. How is it in Shanghai these days? Exciting?
Well, not too exciting at the moment. I'm very happy for that, though. We've had a lot of excitement. We've had
Okay.
more than our share of excitement over the past 12 months. So
Yeah.
we're a little bit quiet right now. I'm very happy for that.
Okay, good.
But, Shanghai being Shanghai, there's always something happening. It's really
Yeah.
a wonderful city to live in.
Okay, beautiful.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Petal is here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Petal. Well,
Morning.
How are you?
Nicolene here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Ford.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Jennifer and I'm based in Juji, very far away. Well, not very far away from Shanghai, but as a rural city.
Oh, okay.
She's in the countryside.
You're a country girl. I
Yeah.
hope you be move from one country area in Jamaica to a country area in
I'm
China.
telling you, I'm gonna move to Shanghai one of these days. Because that is where all the hubs happening in terms of coaching and all that.
Okay.
I need to get there.
So you want to get in on some of the excitement.
Excitement.
Definitely, yes. Or I move back to
Okay.
Hangzhou.
Yes. Okay. And Petal, you are with JN Group based in Jamaica. You're based in Jamaica?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm based in Jamaica. Yeah.
Good.
Interestingly, after our last webinar, I am actually processing a mortgage now from someone who we got a lead from since at the last Asian webinar that we had. Nardia.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, you're most welcome.
She's actually in China. Yes.
Okay.
She's buying a property. There's a property there's a development in Olaba called Women Estates. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and she's actually buying one. So I'm ecstatic that our footprint, the Jamaican footprint is across the world. It's really good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I intend to buy my second home, so I will talk to JN maybe.
Of
Yes.
Yes. In fact, the first phase was closed off, and so we asked them to open, to open for the second phase for her, and they did. What happened to my camera? It's not
It just
detecting
went
at all.
off.
No, it's not up, you know.
Mhm.
It's just not allowing me to. Yeah, it's not allowing me to get back on.
Yeah, seeing a still picture.
Yeah.
Mr. Stewart, I can see you too.
Yeah, so exciting times.
Wonderful.
One and all.
Welcome, Mr. Stewart. There's a light behind you, though. I can't see your face
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, there's a light immediately behind you, so you're not very clear. All right, we are going to be allowing people to join us shortly. And well, now it's 8 o'clock. So I think we're going to allow the guests to come in. I'm getting lots of text messages.
That's a good thing.
Mhm. Amish, Nordia, could someone allow the guests to sign in? Okay, we have some guests are here.
Hi, Lady Jen. This is me.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, great, great.
I just sent you a big hug, so I hope you get it.
Thank you, thank you.
Doc,
Thank
you feel yours from last night. I sent yours from last night. You know, you get it?
Yes, I got it. Thank you very much. I felt it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Major, morning.
I would love to know if Kamisha is here yet.
Kamisha is here. Oh, you're
Kamisha?
Wait,
Kamisha Samuel Smith.
can scroll through and see some
Wonder
people.
what the
Welcome, Karima. I see that you got in. Wonderful. Yes, Kamisha is here.
That's good.
Good evening,
Welcome,
everyone.
Kamisha.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Tracy.
Hello, once
Hi,
somebody.
Hello. How did you do? Good evening.
How did
How did
you?
I'm in a year. How they do?
I think I seen, is that Peter Gracie? Sir Peter from the
Yes.
Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Welcome, sir.
And Suzette is now on. Suzette Rochester.
Hi, good morning.
Suzette.
Suzette from Victor Mitchell. Hi, Suzette. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you
Suzanne.
so much. Morning.
Welcome. Good morning.
Good
All
morning.
right.
Thanks for having me. And you guys should do this a little later, man. I just got up.
That's what
Excuse me.
happens. This is Jamaican diaspora.
It's our bedtime, guys. It's almost our bedtime.
I know.
Okay. I think we need to get started because we have a lot to cover and I don't want us to
Yeah.
miss out on anything. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today as we have this, I think this is our second webinar on this topic. And I look forward to hearing from all our guest speakers, getting the questions from all of you, and hopefully we'll be able to answer a lot of your questions as we embark on today's journey into how to buy a property in Jamaica. So thank you all for coming and joining us today. Before we start officially with our introductions, though, we would like to start off with our national anthem. So we invite us to just prepare our hearts as we listen to the national anthem of Jamaica. Thank you.
Italy. Hello. Beautiful.
If it's playing, we can't hear it.
I was just about to ask if I should start singing because I'm not hearing anything.
If it's playing, we're not able to hear. The sound is not on. Okay, one moment, please. We're coming. Oh, okay. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. We will start off with an opening prayer as well from Karen King. Karen, will you pray for us, please, as we open this session?
All right, pleasant morning, everyone. Are you hearing me? I know the connection on
Loud
my
and
end.
clear. Loud and
Right.
clear.
Great. Father, we just thank you for this morning as we are about to embark on another journey. We just ask for your divine wisdom, intelligence, guidance, and protection. And this day will be a very productive day and beneficial to all stakeholders and parties involved. Thank you so much for everything that you will do. Forever in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you very much, Karen. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our event. My name is Nicolene Johnson, and I'm representing the Jamaica Association in China. And I'll be co-hosting with Jennifer, and Jenny will be introducing herself shortly. So Nicolene hails from the cool hills of Westmoreland, and I grew up in the countryside of Westmoreland. Went to school in Herbert Morrison and UTech. And actually, I've been living in Shanghai since 1997. And yes, I know, I came when I was a baby, and I've been here ever since. Yes, I came to study my master's degree here and fell in love with Shanghai, and I've been here ever since. Worked as an independent business consultant, helping companies across the world to do business in China. And I'm also currently now lecturing in business and management at a university here in Shanghai. So it's my pleasure to host you today for our event. And we have a lot of great speakers lined up for you. So we look forward to sharing and learning a lot today together as we embark on owning a little piece of that rock we call Jamaica, land we love. And I'll just hand over to Jennifer to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone, presenters, fellow Jamaicans, colleagues, associates. It's wonderful to have you here with us today. I'm Jennifer Richards. I am the CEO and founder of the Transforming Lives Coaching Center and the Empower to Pursue Mentorship Program. I hail from the beautiful coastal parish of St. Thomas, as you can see in my background. I miss my home, I miss the sea. I've been here since 2019. I'm an educator, speaker, and entrepreneur. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today, and we look forward to a productive meeting today. Thank you all for coming.
All right, thank you so much, Jenny. And we have a lot to cover, so we do not want to take up any time. We're going to go straight into our session today. We will have speakers from Integrated Diaspora Services. We'll be having Representative one Jamaican who has actually completed the purchase of her home, and she'll be sharing with us about her experience. And we'll be hearing from an NHT representative. We'll be hearing from Jamaica National Group. We'll be hearing from the VMBS Bank. We also have an attorney at law, as well as someone in the construction field that will be sharing with us. So you'll get a full coverage of what you need if you would like to purchase property in Jamaica. So without further ado, let us start off. I welcome all our speakers. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a pleasure. We really appreciate it this early in the morning to join us for this session. I know that the time difference, 13 hours, it makes it extremely difficult for us to be involved in a lot of the activities that are happening on that side of the world. So we really appreciate you getting up so early to help us out this tonight, our night. So good night for those of you who are in China. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And I look forward to hearing from you during the Q&A, and hopefully we can answer a lot of the questions that you may have today. So we will start off with IDS, Integrated Diaspora Services, and they would like to first share a video or song, and then we will move straight into the hearing from the CEO, Nardia Teep, as she will share with us about what IDS is all about. So let's go ahead and start with the song. IDS.
Dr. Nicolene?
Yes, there.
I'll just proceed. I'm not sure what. Oh, I think the start of the video is here. All right.
Okay. Great.
Jamaica, land we love, full of so many beautiful places, memories, people, so rich in culture, resources, and opportunities, that it is more than enough to want to bring the heart back home. So many of us have left our homeland seeking new opportunities and exploration of the world, and now many of us in the diaspora are trying to find ways to show our love for our homeland and those we left behind. It is this unfulfilled need of the Jamaican diaspora that has inspired the creation of our company, Integrated Diaspora Services Limited. We help bridge the gap between what is and what could be for many Jamaicans living and working abroad, we provide access to the knowledge and support they need to conduct business transactions in Jamaica from anywhere in the world. Our vision is to bring the hearts back home for the betterment of our homeland, Jamaica. Through our worldwide service providers and partnerships, we provide care services that are designed to meet the many needs of the diaspora, spanning from their commercial and regulatory needs to the very personal and intimate needs of their families back home. That is why
United States chooses IDS.
Ni hao, Jungo chinza IDS.
United Kingdom chooses IDS.
The Caribbean chooses IDS.
Kazakhstan, IDS, Tanzania, Afrika inachagua mawazo ili kuleta uzalendo.
Kenya inachagua IDS.
Canada chooses IDS.
Because they bring hearts home.
let us help you bring your heart back home to Jamaica in the ways that matter most, both to you and your loved ones.
Heart back home to the things I know, to the place I know.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can. That was wonderful.
So I'm here looking at everybody saying good morning in their different languages. I'm like, oh Lord. So, so ni hao, buenos dias, bonjour, mache. Good morning, wagwan. Good morning, everybody. A hearty welcome. I'm Nardia, the CEO of Integrated Diaspora Services. And every time I see that video, every time I get to interact with a Jamaican or Caribbean national in some places I don't even know what the name is, my heart is overjoyed, you know. So good morning to everybody. Thank you for making it a possibility to be here and allowing us to share in this moment with you. You know, it is for these very moments that the company Integrated Diaspora Services was formed. Registered in Jamaica, IDS provides a one-stop shop solution for doing business in your homeland in Jamaica. You know, it's one thing to have a dream burning inside you, but the sweetener is in the execution. It is in knowing how and exactly what to do, understanding all the steps involved in making that dream, your dream, a reality, and having the support you need along the journey. Whether you're a Jamaican that has migrated yesterday or 30 years ago, a Jamaican by descent, meaning one born outside of Jamaica to Jamaican parents, or a foreign investor, you just love, you just love Jamaica and want to own something here, IDS will facilitate all the moving parts required in the acquisition of your residential or commercial property in Jamaica. We're quite aware of the nuances and the pain points associated with property acquisition and construction in Jamaica, especially when you're not able to be here physically. And as such, we provide a trusted, transparent, and affordable solution through a team that will take this journey with you, from acquiring your TRN or your tax registration number. So for those who can't find it or you don't have it, right? Getting you pre-qualified, helping you find the property. We visit the property to ensure that it's not a banana tree or that there's actually a land there, right? We help help you in terms of accessing the mortgage, the lawyer, the valuator and surveyor, maintenance of the property. If it's land, we assist with getting the title if it's untitled. We assist with all the moving parts associated with construction or building and whatever else is needed to provide you with the peace of mind you need for what can be a very tedious and frustrating process if not properly informed or without the right support and guidance. And that is why we are here today along with this team of experts to help you along the way. So we're thankful today to let you know, irrespective of where you are in the world, your dream can become a reality. And the support you require is available here and now through Integrated Diaspora Services, a team ready to take this lifetime journey with you as you invest in your country, as you invest in our country, Jamaica. And for your generation, you will be able to leave a legacy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nardia. Wonderful. So we have the facilitators, those who are behind the scenes to help you. Plus, we're going to be hearing from the experts in Jamaica on the ground to tell us exactly what it is that we need to do. And before we move into our second speaker, I just want to hail up some people who are online and they're telling me where they're from. As you guys know, this is for the Jamaicans, mostly for the Jamaicans who are here in China and would love to invest in property back home. So we have Lissy from Taiwan in Shanghai, in China. We have people, Christina from Lini, welcome. Elton from Shanghai, what a go on, Elton. We have Natalie from Beijing, Yolanda from Hefei. We have
oh, you pronounce that, Dr. Nicolene?
Hefei. Oh, we have someone from Japan who just signed in. Welcome, Daryl from Shanghai, and a whole bunch of other friends from across the world and all across China. And I'll go through later on. We will identify the different people who are joining us. So please keep typing your name and which city you're in. We want to hail you up and say hi as we go through the program. So for those of you who are feeling that, you know, it's impossible or daunting to purchase a property in Jamaica, I want to now introduce you to our brave pioneer, one of our brave pioneers, Karima Higgins. She went out on her own and she has completed the purchase of her first property in Jamaica, all the way here in China, in Shanghai, actually. And she did everything while here during COVID time. So you can imagine that was an extra bit of stress too. So I would like to invite Karima just to share a little bit, to give us a summary of what happened, her experience in purchasing her property while based in China. So Karima.
Oi. Wake up.
Natalie, I can hear you loud and clear. You want to mute your microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Can you
Karima, are you on? It's Karima.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Johnson. Good night, everyone.
Hi, Karima.
Good morning.
Karima.
You see, you must make people know you, right? Hi, Elton and Nikisha. Okay, good night, guys, for the people in China and Japan, and good morning for the people in Jamaica and in the US. So I am a recent homeowner. Yeah. And so first, the first process was getting the pre-approval, and that was pretty easy. One challenge was like JMMB was my bank, and this was the bank that I planned to get the pre-approval from, right? But upon talking to people at JMMB, information was just not forthcoming, so I decided to just go with Scotia because I had a friend at Scotia. That went smooth. That was the first part, and then the easiest part. The next part was finding a realtor. And I guess that is important. I would say try to find a good realtor, tell them what you want, tell them your price point and all of that. Someone who will, I don't know, respond to you whenever, you know, immediately and stuff like that. Anyway, and then the next step was finding the property. They helped me to find the property. But then this is when I ran into challenges. As Dr. Johnson said, it was during COVID and China was closed, so that there were lots of documents to be signed and sending them by DHL, like the sale agreement. That was the first one. That was a problem. This was when Shanghai was under lockdown. So I basically had to send the document to another city in China that wasn't under lockdown. And then it was like a whole rigmarole because even doing that was difficult. Anyway, after all of that, I ran into some problem with Scotia because according to them, I was the first person who they've ever processed from China. So getting certain documents was a problem. Like, you know, Jamaicans, like when they want to prove your address, they ask for like a bill in your name. In China, we don't really have that, right? So I had to convince them to accept the registration form, you know, the one that we do for housing. And then they had to go online and check it out and make sure that it was okay and all of that. So that was like one challenge. The next challenge was the sale agreement was fine. This was between me and the seller. But then the big one was the mortgage agreement. That one, Scotia was very strict about it. You know, actually they wanted me to come to Jamaica to do it. Like there was lots of back and forth. Sorry guys, I had to turn on my phone. It's my alarm. Sorry. So, yeah, where was I? Yeah, so that was hard to sort out. But anyway, in the end, it worked out. The biggest challenge for me was, and I would say this is an advice, like if you are trying to get a mortgage from a company, make sure that you ask some serious questions. Because with Scotia, initially I thought I could pay like 10 to 15% down. However, when it came down to the nitty-gritty, they couldn't process me as a resident of Jamaica, even though I had a passport. They had, because this was reserved for people who were outside of Jamaica for just 6 months, less than 6 months, or up to 6 months. So I live in China most of the time. So I had to come up with 25% of the deposit, which is a lot if you don't have it. So I would say, make sure you ask that question first. And yeah, the pandemic, a lot of challenges, but in the end, they accepted the registration form. They allowed the lawyer to, they allowed a lawyer to witness me signing it. And they had to be present or on the call and all of that. And so they made provisions for me. I would say that if you're gonna buy a house, just also make sure you have a good attorney. Because I thought I had a good attorney, but in the end, there were some things that she didn't, for example, she did not even, she was supposed to get the meter number for the apartment. She was supposed to get all these bill settlements sorted out. I didn't know anything about that. And then when I was ready to get a tenant for the house, all of these things came up and became a problem, right? Things weren't settled with the HOA, all of that. And I had to settle it. Tenant could move in. Even I had problem accessing the property because of the HOA and all of that. So these are the things that you should make sure that your attorney gets all these information and give it to you. You ask her all the details. So in the end, it worked out. I'm now a property owner and a landlord because it's been rented out and the rent covers the mortgage. The rent covers the mortgage, not only the mortgage, but the maintenance. And yeah, so basically the house is paying for itself. And we in China, we have a unique opportunity because we're here. You know, most of us, we get we have certain benefits with housing, so once you have your deposits, I would advise you to really go ahead and make that purchase. The house will pay for itself. And in the end, you're a homeowner. So that's my advice. So far, it's fine. I've only had a tenant for a month because I was sorting out some things. I was sorting out some things at first. But yeah, it's been okay so far. And my property is fairly new because it was built in 2020. So it's move-in ready. I didn't have any problems with JPS, any problems with the land and all of that. And also, that is for me, I wanted something moving already. I wanted somewhere that was gated and secured, and that's what I did. So for the most part, I would say parts of it were difficult, but in the end, it's rewarding. It's done, and it went well.
So much for sharing your experience. And if you have any questions while she's speaking, you could type it in the group, guys, so we can ask her. If you have any questions, please type it in the group and I will ask on your behalf. What you wanted to say, Karima?
Can I chime in to ask?
Could you type the question, Nikisha, if possible?
Yeah.
Thank you. Karima, you were saying?
There's one other person here who also
what was I
brought her
saying?
here.
Karima, you're saying one last thing, one other thing you were saying.
What was I saying? I don't even remember. Please share your contacts.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? Like my realtor, my attorney? Well, I guess you don't want my attorney because I said she was not.
Maybe your contact so that she can talk to you.
Right.
And somebody's asking, what is HON?
No. HOA.
Or HOM?
Oh, HOA.
HOA.
In Jamaica, we don't say HOA. We say maintenance. That's what we say.
Okay.
But I'm just saying the American word.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Oh, and also another thing is that when you're buying property, for example, some properties actually don't allow Airbnb. So if you plan to do Airbnb, you need to find out like if the property allows it. Like my property does not allow Airbnb, but I'm fine with it. Most very upscale places will not allow Airbnb, actually. And I like rent because rent to me is more stable and it worked out. So if you intend to do that, or if you need a flexible property, I would advise you to find out about that early.
Do your research, right?
Yes.
Congrats. There's also one other person here, Sharon Griffiths. She also purchased her property from here. She has posted in the chat that she had a similar situation as Karima. Congratulations, ladies. You are homeowners, and we applaud you for doing that. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you, Karima.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, any more questions? Should I answer?
Do you have any last questions for Karima before we move on to our next?
There's some questions in the message box. I could 10%. Okay.
Okay. All right. And we will have a session at the end, guys, where we'll have another 10 or 20 minutes at the very end, where if you had some questions and you get a chance to ask them during the sessions, you can do so at the very end. So after each speaker, we will give you 5 minutes for Q&A for the specific speaker. But at the end of the webinar as well, just before we end, we will have another session of Q&A. So please keep typing your questions. We have someone who will collate them, and then we will be asking the speakers throughout the webinar. I'll hand over now to Jennifer with our next speaker.
Well, with us today, we have Kamisha Samuel Smith from the National Housing Trust. She's a marketing and sales officer from the St. Catherine branch. Welcome, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith.
I am here. Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Really nice to be with persons in the diaspora from that side of the world, right?
Yes.
Really awesome. So I listened to the testimonial from Karima, very interesting. And I made some notes because I wanted to ensure that persons who are in fact thinking of buying a house in Jamaica, NHE is also an option for you. Okay, we do provide financing for Jamaicans living at home or abroad. So I'm going to start off with the qualifying requirements and just bring you through the different product offerings that we have at the National Housing Trust. So once you are engaged in any income generating activity, whether here locally or abroad, you are required to pay contributions. So if you are still a citizen of Jamaica, but you simply have a job, you're employed in another territory, another country, but you are still a citizen of Jamaica, you would contribute to Jamaica, you contribute as a local person, really, essentially. And that would be through tax admin department. Okay, so all those statutory deductions and contributions at the current rates would still apply to you because you're still a resident of Jamaica, but you're just earning your income in another country, right? So to be registered, you'd have to go through tax admin Jamaica. However, if you are a resident or citizen of another country and you wish to contribute to the NHT so that you may take advantage of the benefits, then you would contribute as a voluntary contributor. So, you're not liable to pay under the law. This is something that you're going to voluntarily do so that you can access the benefits that we offer. And so that would require registration at the National Housing Trust. You would not need to go through tax admin in Jamaica. You would do directly with the National Housing Trust, okay? You would pay 3% of your monthly income. Now, as a voluntary contributor, we don't require proof of income. And we're not going to ask you for a lot of stuff. The things that you would be required to show, let me just get that up so I can just look at it. Good. So these are the things that you would require as a voluntary contributor. You need to have an NIS card, National Insurance card, which you can get from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. You have to have a TRN number as well, so you have to get that done. If you are unable to visit the island to get these documents in place, you may appoint someone to do this on your behalf. You need a valid identification, okay, whether your passport or driver's license. You would need proof of overseas residence. Now we will take either a permanent resident card, indefinite card, passport for the country of residence. So those are the things that we need. There are also proof that you are in fact a permanent resident or citizen of another territory. Of course, we'd also need proof of age, which can be your passport, birth cert, or in some cases, your driver's license. And you simply state the source of funds. But of course, as I said, you don't need to show proof of income, okay? But you would state that you're employed at such and such, and you would declare on this form how much you earn on a monthly basis, and 3% of that would be required as your contribution to the National Housing Trust. Now, if you were a contributor prior to leaving Jamaica for at least a year, then when you register under the voluntary contribution program, you would contribute for an additional year to be qualified for a benefit. But if you never contributed prior to leaving at all, then you'd have to contribute for 2 years before you would be qualified to access a benefit. All right? So it's under 2 programs. You're either still a resident, but you're just probably contractually employed in another territory, and you're going to return at any point in time. You're still a citizen. You'd register with tax admin. That's an online process as well. You can do it from anywhere in the world. Okay, or you're voluntary, you're a citizen of another country, and you want to contribute so that you can either assist someone in Jamaica in acquiring a home, or you yourself want to access a benefit to buy your own home. Okay, so what do we offer our Jamaicans in the diaspora who wish to purchase here? We'll be able to lend you up to 7.5 million. Now, this is a new loan amount. It's currently 6.5, but in July, the 1st of July, it will be $7.5 million for persons who are not homeowners. You'll be able to access that to assist you with the purchase of a house or the purchase of land. Now, from that 7.5, which is a maximum amount that we lend, you can use up to 3.5 from that to assist you with the purchase of land And after you have acquired the land, you can return for funds to do your construction as well. It could be that you already own land in Jamaica, you have a registered title for the property, and you want to build on that land that you own. You can also access that $7.5 million to do so. You may co-apply with someone else as well, okay, to access additional funding. You can also co-apply with two additional persons. But this new program that we call the three co-applicant policy, there is a condition attached to it. Under the three co-applicant policy, all persons must show that they are related. So you must show kinship ties. So we'll take birth cert, marriage cert, declaration of common law relationship, whatever it is that you have to show that we are related in, whether blood birth or marriage or adoption. We will be able to process you. So 3 persons can come together and access up to $21 million again for all the programs that I mentioned earlier. And to add to that, the interest rates on our loans are pretty low. So they start from 0 to 4%. Come July, we'll have another interest rate band up to 5%. So currently, persons earning minimum wage up to $30,000 per week would not pay an interest on their loan. Okay, persons earning above $30,000 to $42,000 per week, and this is in the Jamaican. Okay, 2%, and anyone earning over $42,000, 4%. So your co-applicant might fall into that category. We'd have to do, of course, the conversion based on the income that you would have declared and calculate the weekly gross equivalent in Jamaican dollars to determine the interest rate that would be applied to your loan. Now, when you are buying outside of Jamaica, there are some things that the NHA will require of you. If you are unable to attend the interview yourself, you may now need to appoint someone to act on your behalf. So you're going to need a power of attorney. Now, the NHE says if in the last 6 months leading up to your application, you presented yourself at an office, spoke to a representative. Of course, every time we make contact with someone, we put a memo on our system. So we know that you came in, you made a query, documents and forms were issued. So we will know that you would have visited the office. Then we would waive one of the documents I'm about to list. So one, you need a power of attorney document. Good. Now, a lot of persons come with a power of attorney, especially if you're dealing with an attorney that is not a conveyancing lawyer. And there's an attorney, I'm not too sure if I'm getting the term right, but a person is not very versed or good at legal conveyancing. Some little things fall through the cracks and it becomes frustrating for you during the process. So if you aren't able to come and you're going to appoint someone here to act on your behalf, I'm going to tell you that there are some places that the power of attorney must be presented to in order for it to be valid. So it has to be signed and stamped by a justice of the peace or notary public. Now, you're in China, you may have to visit the Jamaican consulate to have the document notarized, okay? It has to be stamped by the taxpayer audit and assessment department. So it has to go to tax office to be stamped. It has to go to the Registrar General's department, okay, to be recorded. And then it has to be registered at the Registrar of Titles office, okay? And certain clauses must be added by virtue of the Registration of Titles Act. And of course, the person who you are granting power, the person who is granting the power, and all of those things have to be very clear on the document. Now, when you get it notarized at the Jamaican consulate and you send it down, it's not yet ready for use and it cannot be used at the NHE. So I'm just pointing out that it has to go to 3 different offices, 3 different government bodies when it gets to Jamaica. Now, if you did not visit the NHE within the last 6 months and speak to a representative so we know that you're well, you're alive, there's no fraud taking place, then you would also have to attach medical examiner's form and the medical examiner's credentials. All right? Because it could be John Stone in China that doesn't even exist. All right? So you have to know that you exist. Good. So if you did a visit, you're going to get the medical examiner's form. We supply it. And the medical examiner's certificate, credentials. So if you know that it's not, any old doctor that is pretending to be a doctor that completes this on their behalf. We're Jamaicans, we're so creative. These policies come about because of the different things that we've encountered. So that would be necessary. Okay? And there are also some forms that the NHU require for you to complete. These are usually witnessed by JP or notary public. Again, when you take the power of attorney to the Jamaican consulate, you take these forms along with you and get them notarized, return them to Jamaica. The person who is acting on your behalf will come with their ID as well, and the power of attorney. And the power of attorney can be completed with all of these lovely things, but if it doesn't have the clause that says by virtue of the Registration of Titles Act, we can't use it. So very often when you are intending to use the NHD as part of your financing, you want to be in contact with someone at the NHD. You can email the document, have us look at it before so that you don't have the back and forth sending through DHL. It's not correct. You have to send it back and you don't want that. So if you are in contact with someone who, from the NHD, you will, alleviate all of that stress and have a more smooth process. So I really wanted to say that. So, find someone who is trustworthy if you are unable to visit the island to conduct your own business. So we've talked about qualifying requirements, some of the important documents that would be required for us to facilitate processing of your application, the various loan types that we have, to purchase on the open market if you wish to do so, to purchase land, to build on land that you already own. NHE requires at least a 5% deposit, okay? We do 95% financing. If the property that you're purchasing is outside of the loan limit that we lend and you may need additional financing, you may be directed to another financial institution who have partnered with us under a joint finance program. We call it the external finance program now, external partner financing program now. You'll be directed to one of those persons, still be able to get your NHT loan at the applicable interest rate and the additional amount that you need from that other lending institution. Okay, so even if you intend to use a mix of funds, you'll still be able to get it. It's just that under our new program, we direct you to specific partners in the financial market to tell you if you want NHT's amount and additional financing. These are the banks or credit union that you would need to approach. Otherwise, you do your financing at another institution. So that's basically it. You just need to have someone at the NHT to guide you so that you do not have any issues or any confusion when you're processing your loan, especially when you're on it. And more very likely that you'll be able to be flying back and forth to do this. So you're really going to need someone to assist you and guide you through the process. Now, I am a marketing and sales officer, but we facilitated purchasing and financing through the NHT from persons all over the world, Canada, the US, and it's no different for you guys in China as well. So you have me as your contact person.
Yeah, wonderful. Right? Thank you, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, so if you're buying and the properties in Westmoreland, there is another marketing officer in Westmoreland which simply directs you to the right person. But as it relates to information, I'm always available to assist you whenever I can. Okay, so that's it for the National Housing Trust.
Very thorough, very good information. Thank you. There's a question in the chat that I would want you to address at this time. It says, is it true that even if you decide to contribute to NHT as a lump sum, you will still need to be able to access these benefits until a year? Will you still be able to access these benefits until a year?
It's a very popular question. So say you've never contributed and you have a wait time of 2 years when you're a voluntary contributor. For local persons, it's 1 year after contributing that you become eligible for the benefit. For voluntary contributors, first-time contributors, 2 years. So suppose, what if I just pay the 2 years in advance? Can I just get the loan now? No, you would still need to wait of 2 years or 1 year, whichever applies. Okay, so you'd still have to wait the period. That is correct.
Okay, thank you. We have one more concern. Sometimes it's difficult to get the documents signed here by our embassy. Can we have anybody else sign it? Will you accept any other signatures?
Before I came on, I was trying to do a little research. It's not Jamaican consulate. Who else will we accept from that territory? I was not able to get that information, but I am going to put my contact details in the chat.
Please do. Thank you.
So we can do it. I'm also going to place a link in the chat for persons who are interested to complete that link. So I have your contact information as well. All right, I'm going to do that. But I wasn't sure who would be the equivalent of a notary public in China, or who would be the equivalent of a JP. I don't know.
I understand, yeah.
I'm not sure. Somebody can talk about a city-based notary public. If notary publics are in China, they are acceptable because we do accept a notary public.
Though is that the notary publics in China will not sign a document that is coming from overseas. They will only sign documents that are from China in Chinese, probably translated into English. They will not notarize documents from overseas. That's the issue.
So how do we work around that, Mrs. Smith?
Don't you have asking, is there a Jamaican consulate in China?
No, and we have an embassy in Beijing, but remember, China is not like Jamaica. It's huge.
Yes,
so getting to Beijing, I mean, it's very difficult. And there are other challenges as well, getting your documents signed. So it would be actually amazing if NHT would come up with something else that we can do, and the banks as well, as it relates to signing documents here and getting documents notarized. And they will only notarize documents issued by the Jamaican government. The embassy will only notarize documents that are issued by the Jamaican government. So
these are documents issued by the Jamaican government.
That's for yours, but other documents that we're getting from the banks and other institutions or we would not be able to get them notarized here. So we need to find a solution for the Jamaicans in China. We're a very unique case.
I tried to get a little information, but I'm going to do further research. And I have your email, Jennifer. So I get an answer on that email. And you can keep in touch with me as well.
Will do.
Wonderful. What we could try to do, I don't know if this is possible, I was thinking, Jennifer, is that if we could have someone in Jamaica once notarize the documents. So we would have everything prepared and we could do a call or something online and just have someone to notarize the documents in Jamaica on our behalf. I'm not sure if that would work for NHT, but that's something that could probably be
better solution.
Researched. Yeah, it could be a solution for us. And we would have our passports and everything that we have from Jamaica with us. And we could do like the Chinese do when we were coming over I'm not sure how many of you got stuck outside, but when you had to do your test, you had to hold up your passport beside your face and take a photo to say, this is you, this is your passport. They literally asked us to do that and to send that document in. So maybe that could be another way to identify individuals who are residing in China, since China is such a special case.
And there's just one more thing I want to add. We have made improvements to our online platform. So we have an online system now where you can get pre-qualified, you can get your eligibility letter or pre-approval letter online. So wherever you are in the world, once you have been contributing to NHT, we will you would be able to generate that pre-approval letter as well. And since we're also going paperless, I'm not sure if some of these requirements will become obsolete, no longer required. And so different forms that are to be completed, we may not have them. We're not there yet, but we're really trying to go paperless, have persons make their application online instead of coming in the office. So I foresee in the future that the application process for NHG and our contributors will become much easier. But we currently do have the online platform. You can check your contributions, check previous benefits, check, how many years of contributions are on the system for you, and you can request and generate your eligibility letter online as well.
Great move, NHG. We'd really
I have one more
appreciate
question, Jennifer. One more question. Someone is asking that they have contributed for 8 years, NHD, and then they took a break because I guess they were overseas for 7 years. If they want to resume, would they still have to do 1 year before they would qualify?
Yes, 1 year. Not
Okay.
2, but 1 year. Yes.
Wonderful.
And there are some forms that you need to complete. I placed my email address in the chat as well. You can reach out to me and I will or complete the link. So I have your email address. And if you're interested in getting those forms, I will be able to send them to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. We will need that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Smith. Thank you. So we have with us another colleague. She is Petra James, and she's from the Jamaican National Building Society. Welcome, Petal.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's actually JN Group.
JN Group.
Yeah, we're no longer building society since 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to our platform.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is my second time and I'm happy to be here.
Pleasure.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me just share my screen. All right. I want to thank Integrated Diaspora Services, NARDIA. I really thank you for this opportunity and for the platform that created here for us to connect with our fellow Jamaicans and other persons in the China region. So JN Group, we're here to to offer you some advice on how to buy a property here in Jamaica. We call it Jamrock. And of course, it's Jamrock property ownership. We want to help you to pursue, purchase, and prosper. Yeah. And so with me today, I have members of my group companies here to support. Just in case you want any other products and services, we have Sharifa Grandison. She's from JN Life. She's sales team lead and financial advisor. We also have Jason Adams. He is one of our assistant VP, sales and client services. And we also have one of our assistant general managers from JN Money. That's Tanya Wallace, and she travels all over the world. So any questions about how to get monies home, we're also here. And of course, myself, Petal Hall, Group Sales Executive. And so Jamaica, we are just coming out of the period of COVID-19, and we're seeing where there's a bounce back of the economy as it relates to tourism and travel back in Jamaica. We're seeing where the Airbnb market is up and running again. And so, yes, you can buy your property for short term. So there's a boom in the economy over the past few years for property construction. Properties are going up every day here in Jamaica. And so this is evidenced by the number of construction projects still ongoing across the country. Our Prime Minister recently has pointed to real estate as being one of the key drivers for recovery and economic growth. And so therefore, if there's any right time to invest in the sector, it is now. Well, really, real estate, no time, no delay is good for you. It's always now because the prices go every day, The benefit about that is that once you buy today, you're not gonna lose. the price will not depreciate. It is going to appreciate for you, right? So like I said before, with travel and tourism, you know, on the rebound, you know, you're in a good place now to buy your property. So long-term rentals, of course, continue to see steady numbers with more persons still opting for this long-term rentals. Especially considering that companies have maintained a work from home arrangement. And so therefore for persons looking to increase their income streams through real estate investment, your prospects are very bright. And so Jane Group is here to help you. These are our group companies, or some of our group companies that we currently have in our group. And of course, as I said to you before, we're here to help you pursue, purchase, and also prosper. So Jane Bank, what do we offer for mortgage? And I heard the testimonial, you know, earlier, and some of the snags that you would have, you know, encountered in acquiring your property, and you did have some good advice, especially with attorneys and so forth. But from Jane Bank's standpoint, yes, the first point of owning your own home is ensuring that you have a TRN. That's the first step. And I know, you know, TAJ and through Nardia, that is something easy. You can get it, you know, online within minutes, right? Apply for it. So getting your TRN is very important. Also, if you're gonna ask for your, or access your benefits from NHT, ensure that you have your NIS. Ensure you have your NIS and your TRN. Those two numbers are very, very important now because the NHT has really gone digital, right? You can, as Kamisha said earlier, you can go online and access your eligibility right there and then. So once you have your TRN, once you have your NIS, you can, you know, get a mortgage. But most importantly, your TRN number is very important. You can't do business in Jamaica unless you have your TRN number, right? So what does Jane Bank offers? Currently, for persons who are living overseas, living and working overseas, we offer you up to 90% financing. It means that you would have to pay a 10% down on the property, right? So once you're going through your pre-approval process, we advise you that you can get up to 90% finance. If you're living outside of Jamaica and you have been with JN Bank for 5 years and more, we can offer you up to 100% financing, meaning we can also unlend you the deposit if you don't have it, right? If you have not been a member of JN Bank for 5 years and more, we can lend you up to 97% financing, meaning that you'll only need to pay 3% to the vendor. The vendor may ask you for 5%, and so that extra 2% we can give you as a cashback in the loan amount with the 97% financing, right? So we have various offers currently. That's the adjustable rate offer. We have the fixed rate offer, which I know a lot of persons are looking towards now because of where interest rates are in Jamaica currently, based on the Bank of Jamaica policy regime, trying to curb inflation up to about 6%. So a lot of persons are moving into the fixed rate option. So we have about 3 options for you if you like, but the adjustable rate option is also attractive. Our rates are as low as 8%. We lend you up to 40 years to repay. And this is also accessible for your NHT benefits. So if you have not accessed your NHT benefits, we also afford you financing of your NHT benefits and at the interest rate that they'll afford you, and also at the tenure up to 40 years to repay. Under the fixed rate option, as I said to you before, there are 3 options. We have option 1, we can fix your rate up to 1 year. Option 2, up to 3 years, and option 3 up to 5 years to repay, right? That we fix your mortgage for. That option currently is a very attractive offer now based on where interest rates are in Jamaica. We also have a variable rate option where it's tied to the treasury bill rate. The treasury bill rate right now, I believe, is 4.5%. It's a quarterly rate. And so we add our interest rate to that variable rate option to afford you a very flexible interest rate. We also have the balloon payment option, and the balloon payment option is, what if you don't have all the monies now to buy your property? Maybe you have another property being sold, and you want to use a lump sum and dump, what we call it, dumping on your mortgage to make the payment much easier for you in the future. That's one other option. And also, if you like your home equity, meaning that you have a property already in Jamaica, you want to buy another property, whether here or in China, you can take a home equity, or you want to go back to school, or you want to do some home improvement. We also offer that kind of option as well, right? But what are the different things that you must look at when you're buying your property? First, the process is that you must be pre-approved. There's no way you can go out and start buying a property and you don't know how much you're pre-approved for. And that process is very, very easy. Just recently, I encountered another prospect from the last webinar, and she did have her credit reports from outside of China. She did send it, although it was in a year language, but she had it translated, sent it to me, her income information. We generated her credit report here in Jamaica, and she was well on her way to have her pre-approval done. So it does work. So your pre-approval is just looking at your income, looking at your expenses or your debts, and we do a ratio of up to 50% of your gross income, looking at your age and the tenure, good interest rate, and your pre-approval. That pre-approval letter is valid for 3 months, right? 3 months. Now, after you've been pre-approved, we make the process easier for you by putting you onto one of our realtors. Just recently, our JN Properties unit in the JN Group recently got licensed, and so we can put them onto you. Sorry, we can put you onto them to have you to have your search easier in the market, so you can search for a property in the price range that you are pre-approved for. Right? The next thing that you must ensure that you have is an attorney. I heard the testimonial where you must have an attorney, but it is very important that you don't share attorneys with the vendor. Very important. You do not share attorney with the vendor, because you want to ensure that your attorney is acting in your best interest at all times. When you share, sometimes it's easier for you, or sorry, cheaper for you to share attorneys, but we are saying no. It's best you spend the money because you're overseas and you want to ensure that your attorney have your best interest at heart. We have seen a lot of times persons share attorney and they can't find the attorney, after they have retained them, right? So you want to ensure that you have your own attorney. A realtor is very important in the process, right? To ensure that they walk you through the process, especially when you're trying to know, and the attorney is important, especially when you're transferring property and transferring water, ensuring that your strata is up to date and so forth, right? So we also offer development financing. If it is that you are in China and you're interested in developing a property, say you want to buy a piece of land and you want to develop, you want to build some units, that's a very lucrative investment as well. JN offer development financing for residential, if you want to construct, and for land development. So please speak with me after if you'd like to know more about development financing at very affordable interest rate, right? Also, our mortgage offer also covers if you want to construct, if you want to build. I know some persons are into buying, a complete property, but if it is that you want to build your own property, I know a lot of our men love to build their own little man cave and their own little design. Yes, the mortgage offer also affords you that as though you had purchased a built property, a finished property already. So we do offer the financing terms for building and constructing are the same as though you were buying your finished property. All right, so I'm off to investment. The market is currently very, very rich for investments now. Interest rates are for deposit products have improved, have increased. It's very lucrative. So I'm offering you Jane Fund Managers. We have Jason online, one of our advisors, licensed advisors. So if it is that you want mutual fund, if it is that you want to put into the mutual fund for future deposit on your property, that's a very good option as well. We have tax-free investment plans. If it's that you want your wealth accumulator, government and corporate bonds, and repos, right? Now, with your mortgage, You also need to be looking at, I'll come back to Jane Money. If it is that you want to insure your property, we offer a one-stop shop. You don't have to be going here and there. Once you come into the mortgage rep, we have our sister company, J&GI, a very seamless process, affordable premium rates. So we offer home insurance. We also offer motor insurance. If it is that you want to buy a car in Jamaica, although you are overseas, yes, we do offer that. You want to buy or renew online, and we also have dash cam discounts. Yeah. Life insurance is also very, very good to have when you're buying your property. We don't want your estate to be, tagging along with, paying your mortgage, if or when you pass from this earth. And so through our JN Life, we also offer a group mortgage life for your mortgage, or you can take out a life vest, one of our newest products. So we offer life insurance for yourself and your family. We have term life, which is one of our life vests. And so Sharifa is here if you have any questions at all, one of our licensed advisors. For critical illness, we also have one called Jane Comfort, and we also have a retirement scheme for persons who want pension offers. I'm going to go back to JN Money. You want to send money to your JN bank account from online. We offer that service. You're all the way in China. And so we can make that process very easy for you with our online service. Of course, Sanya is here to answer any questions for that. If you want to pay bills for your family or yourself, for your property here in Jamaica, we do offer that. So you want to send money to JN, we also have our JN Money card. We also have a fleet management service through JAA, that's the Jamaica Automobile Association. And so we offer concierge services. If it is that you're at the airport and you need a lift to go wherever you want to go, we offer transportation services. And we also offer corporate services. So Nardia, if it is that you have a function and you want shuttle service to take your team around, we also offer that at very affordable rates. Yeah. So in concluding, ladies and gentlemen, there are just a few ways we can support you in pursuit of business in Jamaica. We have the expertise and the products to finance your property. Remember that we offer up to 90% financing. You live in and work in China, we do offer that. Not 75, not 60, but 90% financing. The solution to protect those assets through Jane Money and Jane Life, we have those as well. The services support payments, the means to deepen your investment in other areas of the local market and build wealth through Jane Fund Managers. The transportation services you need to get you around quickly and conveniently through JAA while you do business in Jamaica. And there are many other ways and other solutions we can provide to support you with doing business and investment. However, time will not permit me. I know other representatives are waiting. And so I thank you for your time, and we're open for questions right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. James. There are several questions right now in the chat.
Yes.
We can just address two at this point in time. Does Jane offer fixed mortgage rates? What's the interest rate?
Our interest rate starts at 8.75 for the fixed rate mortgage. It's a tiered system. It's a tiered rate. So I believe in the first option, once you are for 1 year risk, if you're a good risk, meaning R1, R2, no delinquencies, we start at 8.75%. Yeah, and the higher tier is at 10.5% fixed rate. So if for any reason interest rate starts going up, we can't touch your rate during that fixed period. Like I said, a lot of persons are moving into the fixed rate option because of where interest rates have been in the last couple of months since last year. Yeah. I see here JN is online is horrible when using VPN, Rashida. I will just contact you directly for us to fix that for you. Thanks for the feedback. Sure.
James.
One second, Jennifer will.
Go ahead, Ms. James.
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Someone wants a little bit more information on the credit report. Please, how and where do non-residents apply?
For credit report in China? Yes. In China? Yes. You don't have a credit bureau in China?
No, we don't.
You don't?
And that's one of the issues too, because there's something with the People's Bank of China, but it's most of the banks will not give you a credit report. And that's one of the issues. I'm personally applying for a loan at the moment with JN, I have to say. And that's one of the issues that they do not issue credit reports very easily in China because we do not have credit cards. Most of us do not own credit cards and we don't own property here.
Okay.
Everything in cash.
Nicolene, what about unsecured loans or auto loan? No?
Nothing like that for foreigners, no.
Nothing for
Okay,
us here.
well, I know the young lady who I just handled did say about not having any credit, but what she gave you, I think, was something from our bank to say that she have no facilities at all, and we did give her pre-approval on that. So what I'll do,
Right, so that's exactly, yes.
Yeah, so what I'll do is just follow up for you to ensure that we are not holding you hostage for credit report.
Please. And for those who are online, that document is called a deposit, what is it called? I will share with you shortly the name of the document, and you can get it from your bank. It's in Chinese and English, and it just states that you have X amount of money in your account at this point in time, and therefore you have no right. So if that's the document you gave, then that's perfect.
The young lady produced it in in Chinese language, and I'd asked her to have it translated, and then she didn't send it back to me. So
okay, wonderful.
Yes.
I know
I have a
ICBC
prototype
Bank.
here.
Wonderful. ICBC Bank will give you in both languages, but it's actually quite easy to apply for. That document we can get, but the usual credit score is not available.
No, she did say that there's none. Yeah, right. But if it is that you had, but perhaps not you, Nicolene, but if it is that you had credits in Jamaica, we do have our credit bureau that we generate your credit report here in Jamaica at your consent for sure.
Yes, that I can do. Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Hall. And back to you, Nicolene.
All right, and for those who have other questions, just keep them coming. Remember, we're going to be having a little section at the end for any further questions for our speakers. So please keep sharing your questions. We will ask them at the end. And we will now hear from VM Building Society, Victoria Mutual Building Society, and Suzette Rochester Lloyd will be sharing with us about her bank and what they offer for you. To you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and good night. It's certainly a pleasure to be with you across the globe, and one heart, one mind. Nordia, just heartiest congratulations to you. That video at the top of the program was just amazing. And can I say heartstrings were like tugging at me a while ago. So thank you so much for that. And I wish you all the very best and God's greatest blessings on you. This is really a great initiative where you're able to bring all the institutions in Jamaica, all the stakeholders that are much needed in the diaspora. Again, good morning. My name is Suzette Rochester Lloyd. I represent the VM Group. I'm actually deputizing for Natasha Service, who is the Chief Representative Officer for the New York Representative Office. I lead the office here in Florida. And we also have offices in the UK. So for further ado, just want to share a short video with you. I'm gonna share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Petal, you need to stop sharing. Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we are. We're seeing your screen now.
Okay.
We're not hearing though, the volume is quite low.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. But you said you weren't hearing the audio?
I wasn't. I'm not sure if were you able to hear the audio?
No, we didn't hear.
I didn't hear. We can just move. We can go forward. It's okay.
Forward, yes. Thank you so much. Okay. So at VM, we are represented in the group, and we just want to say that financial well-being is for everyone, and we will help you to achieve yours through our group of companies. So, my phone. Now, VM's products and services, we offer savings and loans, mortgages, wealth creations through our other subsidiary, VM Wealth Management, real estate services through our subsidiary, VM Property Services. We offer business and corporate services offered through the VM group of companies, pension, which is offered through VM Pensions Limited, and money transfer services offered through VM Money Transfer. So our purpose is to help everyone achieve financial well-being. 1 second.
Waiting.
Arlene, your microphone is on.
Sorry about that. In terms of our mortgages, we talk about the VM experience and we understand the intricacies of home ownership. And we know it's a desire that we all have through generations and inspired by friends and motivated by circumstances. We know that when we're in the diaspora, we all have that dream of owning a piece of the rock, especially how the past five to 10 years, we've seen how Jamaica is developing. A couple of years ago when I visited Jamaica and had the pleasure of driving on the highway, it really was so heartwarming to see how we are able to connect through Orcharios and Montego Bay from Kingston in just mere minutes, you know. Back in the day when I left Jamaica, it was like 3-4 hours to get from Kingston to Montego Bay. So it's really heartwarming to see how developed Jamaica is. And we are trying to live true to our mission of the place to live and work and raise your families by 2030. So we already see that happening. And we just want to just boast our years of experience, you know, for 145 years and remaining relevant since 1878 to help Jamaicans at home and abroad own a piece of the rock. And what's so special about VMBS is that we were formed by then a group of clergymen who saw the need of the then freed slaves to own their own homes in Jamaica. And so that pride that we have of being able to connect with the Jamaicans and friends of Jamaicans since 1878, it's really a pride that we hold true. And we offer savings and mortgage loans. And we want to say that we are with you every step of the way. because saving for your home, and that when you get that key in your hands, and to say that you own a piece of Jamaica, I'm sure we heard the top of the program when I think it was the Shima representative online.
Oh, okay.
Pardon me?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, spoke about her experience, although albeit part of it negative, but out of every negative situation, something positive has come out of it, and she is a proud homeowner, and we just want to commend you and laud you for that, and the stick-to-itiveness that you've had. So thank you for that. Now, at VMBS, we have the perfect product to help you to save towards owning your home, because many times it's not the deposit that will affect persons. It's not the monthly payment, sorry, but the deposit, your 10% deposit that is required. And it does not matter whether you live overseas or you live in Jamaica, we can finance up to 90%. There is a 30% caveat if you are a non-Jamaican. Non-Jamaican meaning you're not able to prove your lineage, your heritage. So you can get that up to 90% financing if you're married to Jamaica, and if you become a citizen of Jamaica through your parents. If you can show proof of your parents being Jamaicans, then of course we will finance up to the 90%. We know that our mortgage loans we have in Jamaican currency as well as foreign currency. The real estate is one of the greatest achievements of your financial well-being, and I'm sure half of you, or even maybe all of you, can attest to when you purchase that property, that excitement, that warmth that you feel, that you get. And it's one of the greatest achievements of your financial well-being. And it's not just for yourself, but for your family as well. And how can you leave that legacy for yourselves and your family? So it's an exciting venture. We're purchasing thousands of miles from your current residence can even be a great undertaking. But you need to have a clear understanding of that lending process, and identify the right property is so critical. So points to note when you're purchasing: property address, location, 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 because you really want to have in another 5 years, what's the appreciation of your real estate? Because we know that this is one way that you can create wealth. We look at the purchase price, we talk about the down payment, we look at the financing terms, which we can go up to 40 years. It's the current age minus 70 years. So in the USA, regardless of your age, you get 30 years. But in Jamaica, we go with the Bank of Jamaica's, the law of the land, basically. So Jamaicans will be able to get that 30 year, up to 30, 40 years. We look at the financing terms. We spoke about the closing cost. We look at the closing date and the possession date of your acquiring that home. The expiration of the offer. When we do a pre-approval for you, we look at it for 60 days, but however, we can extend that because we know that it's going to take some time for you to work with your real estate agent to find the property of your dream. And one thing I need to say to our listeners is that your first property doesn't necessarily have to be the dream home. It's about building and acquiring wealth over time. So you may buy a one-bedroom apartment now, but another 5 years, you can sell that, get some more monies to deposit on your dream home. So don't be daunted at the prices as they are now. If your income will qualify you for, say, a one-bedroom, I would say go right ahead, make that purchase, because in another 5 years, because as you see how real estate is appreciated in Jamaica, you can guarantee at least a 2% appreciation on your investment. When we speak to our prospects, we look at the ability to repay, similar to what any financial institutions will do globally. It's not just a VM thing or a JN thing or an NHD thing. It's what all financial institutions will do in assessing how your ability to repay. So what do we ask for? For those persons, we ask for a job letter confirming your annual salary. We look at your pay stubs, your last 3 months pay stubs. If you get paid bi-weekly, like here in the US, people get paid bi-weekly. In China, depending on how you are paid, whether monthly, bi-weekly, we will ask for 3 months worth of your income, as well as the bank statement, which shows where your salary is posted to. We look at the annual tax returns. If you're joining with someone in the US or in Jamaica, you spoke about in China, persons may not necessarily have to be able to purchase property or have that credit history, but you can get that information from the bank to say how you have been servicing your financial obligations, whether through your savings or if you have any debt there. So when we look at all these things, it is really to assess your ability to pay. And if you're self-employed, we look at the tax returns of the business. When I say tax returns, as you said, there is an issue with the filing taxes in Jamaica, in China, but of course we look at your credit worthiness, and we look at the bank statements to see how you have been depositing funds in the account, and of course the cash flow that we look at. So that is very, very important. Now, the Be Prepared cost. The Be Prepared cost is the deposit minimum 10%. We spoke about the credit report fee, which is in Jamaica when we can retrieve your credit report from the agencies in Jamaica. We look at the processing fee of the loan and the professional fees. Of course, they're expenses. So when you're purchasing, we tell you to budget 10% down, and of course 10% to cover your closing costs and any other incidentals. The valuation report, the land surveyor's report, the quantity surveyor, these are so important because especially the surveyor's ID report, you want to make sure that when you're buying property, there are no breaches, there are no encroachment, because that can cause a further delay in how we do the assessment and disperse the loan. And transfer and stamp duty costs, these are of course external to the society. This is between the government of Jamaica, where you pay a part of that, and it's really a shared cost between the purchaser and the seller. The mortgage registration cost and the legal fees, of course, that is outside of VMBS. So we want you to be prepared. So of course you save towards your 10% down, and of course your 10% to cover your closing costs and any other fees that may arise. Now the key takeaways: identify the right property. Then of course we're going to assess your monthly payment, the maintenance fees, as we spoke about, especially in the gated communities, the repairs, insurance, taxes, and we want to make sure that the mortgage product you select is right for you. So you need to have a clear understanding of the lending process, and that's what we're here to do, to assist you, to hold your hands, to walk with you through the process. And of course, no, you don't need to be in Jamaica to sign that mortgage deed. We will courier that mortgage deed to you and you have it signed. One of the things I need to ask though, is there a consulate office in China, a representation, because that office is also able to verify your documents as well on behalf of, in lieu of the notary public. So we want to say that at VMBS, we certainly look forward to working with the diaspora in China to assist you in achieving your home in Jamaica. Through the VM New York Representative Office, the number is 347-344-5790. Through the VM Florida Rep Office, the number 305-770-2643, and our VMBS Overseas offices, which they have 3 offices in the UK, and the number is 027-738-6799. Again, a big thank you for this opportunity to meet with you Jamaicans residing in China. It's really heartwarming, and I wish you all the very best on your life's journey, and hope that you will make VMBS your financial institution of choice whilst we help you to own a piece of the rock. Thank you. Walk good.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate that. We have a few questions for you here. One is the actual interest rate, the mortgage rates for VMBS. Could you give us an idea of what those rates are?
Yes, the FX, the foreign currency rates range between 6 and 8%, 6 and 8%. Yes, as you can well imagine, we've moved from 5%. The global, what is happening now, we have seen a global recession that's taking place, the war in Ukraine, the instability. So regrettably, we have had to increase our rates. So the rates range between 6 and 8%. 8% if you make anything below 25% deposit. If you make 25% deposit on the property, that is 6%. Or Jamaican dollar rates range between 9.95 and a little over 10% on the interest rates.
Okay, so the greater your deposit, the less your interest rate will be.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, all right, wonderful. You mentioned a few additional costs that we will incur when purchasing a property, and someone in the group is asking if you could just type or just list the different costs that you mentioned earlier. That would be really helpful, because we hear that you can get 90% of the loan. And in our mind, we're thinking, okay, so I only need to find 10% of the cost of the property. But in fact, I've also been told, no, you need to prepare minimum 20% of the cost of whatever you're purchasing, because there are lots of other fees that you will have to pay outside of the cost of the property. So, but those of you listening, you have to prepare at least 10% of the cost of your property to pay as additional fees for lawyers, surveyors. There's so many different institutions that needs to be paid, and so we'll ask Ms. Lloyd to please just type a few of them there so we have a general idea. And in addition, they're asking for the numbers that you mentioned earlier. You could probably type it in the chat so we can access that. Any other questions for VMBS? Oh, there's a question for JN. We'll go back to that later, but I'll ask VMBS the same. If we purchase a property with NHT land and we would like to now get a loan to build on that land, is it possible to do a joint mortgage?
Oh yes, and thank you so much for that. Under the program that we have with NHT, yes, they will be able to purchase, to join. VMBS will combine the NHT loan amount and the VMBS loan amount, and you just do one processing at VMBS. So yes, that is possible. What we do, will ask for the eligibility letter from NHT, and of course we can now assign the VMBS portion. To do the construction as well, we'll be able to finance the construction. The construction loan is up to 75%. The quantity surveyor's report is very important. Your approved plans, that is very important, because we want to make sure that it's a security, and of course you want to again speak to no encroachment. So of course it's a seamless process where we process everything under the VMBS umbrella.
Okay, and one last question. Someone is saying that they're blocked from accessing their VMBS online banking due to the location. I think, yeah, lots of us have issues with China accessing certain websites outside of China. And so they're asking, can she get some assistance? So I think you probably could address that one-on-one. It's Davia Roden.
Okay, Davia. And Davia, just drop your number in the chat, please. I'll have the Member Engagement Center manager reach out to you to assist you with that. That is handled through a Member Engagement Center. Davia?
Okay, and Merlin, we will address your question after. So we are running a little bit behind time, but we have so much wonderful, so I mean, this is so useful, and I know we have a lot more coming. So Douglas, Jennifer, I'm gonna hand over back to you.
Yes, welcome Mr. Douglas Stewart, attorney at law at the Douglas Stewart and Associates. Go ahead, sir. Welcome to our platform.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much, Nadia, for facilitating this webinar. Congratulations to her name is Miss Higgins, I believe, yes? And the other person for purchasing yes, for purchasing property successfully in Jamaica, albeit you mentioned some issues that you had. I want to first start by emphasizing the importance of using an attorney in purchasing property. And I'm going to start from what intending purchasers may think may be very minor issues, but in the long run, it turned out to be really big issues. I want to start as just identifying who are the parties to the contract. And I like to use examples when I'm illustrating a point. I serve a lot of clients in the diaspora, the US, the different continents, UK, Canada. And for example, now I have a client, in the US who's now trying to sell his property that he has had for over 15 years. And it is now when he's trying to sell the property, he's realizing, I'm reviewing the documents, and he's realizing that his name is spelled incorrectly. Now, the name on your title and the name on your government issued ID and your TRN must be correct. Because simply put, one letter missing or added, you're not the same person. The transaction cannot go through. So I want to take it as what persons might perceive as being just a minor issue, but the transaction will be stalled because now we have to correct the name. So I just want to bring that out first. Now, having an experienced real estate attorney will advise about certain inquiries that must be made prior to even the drafting of the sale agreement. Now, I want to call this stage pre-contract negotiations. And it's important that you use an attorney because the vendor's attorney communicating to a purchaser, and forgive me for using the quote layman, the layman purchaser may not readily understand and appreciate the terms and conditions that will be put forward or stated in the sales agreement. So you need the expert, you need an experienced real estate attorney that will protect your interest. You don't want to enter into a sale agreement whereby the conditions, the key dates are just unrealistic. So I open by saying, have an attorney in a sale to facilitate the purchase. It's very important. I want to emphasize it. I want to emphasize the experienced real estate attorney because I've listened keenly to the presenters before. I've listened to our friends in the diaspora and some of the issues. I've listened to the presenter from NHT that spoke on the issue of power of attorney. That's also issues that an experienced attorney can help to guide the process. All right, we'll speak later. We'll speak some more on that further down. Now, I want to state that a sale agreement is a time-bound, it's time-based, it's a time-based transaction. So the attorney will assist with, after consultation with you, I'm representing you, for example, I know your financial situations. How is it that you're going to finance this? And we discuss and I can then put forward what would be a reasonable time. I negotiate and say, standard, it's 90 days. But I've seen in cases where I have to negotiate with the vendor's attorney to say, look, because this person is overseas in the diaspora, they may be, can we do 120? And the push and pull and the robust negotiations starts. But I realize a lot of the purchasers don't appreciate that it's time-based. I've seen where persons pay the deposit, they know that the sale agreement is signed, and they sit back and they say, oh, it's fine. There's a level of urgency, diligence that must be maintained, albeit you're in a faraway land, that you want to stay engaged in the process. Stay very close to your attorney. The strategic partners that are on this platform, I'm happy all of us are here together like this. Your financiers, your broker, your real estate agents. For the next 90 days or 120 days, these persons must be in contact with you, whether through your attorney, but you don't want to go miss MIA on us, right? Because remember, it's time-based. Now, the attorney will then assist you with looking at the boundaries. I believe the facilitator from VMBS, VM Group, mentioned the survey diagram. Very important. Very, very important. Because this will actually indicate to us if the boundaries are intact. Now, I'm seeing, and sometimes it's very disheartening to purchasers. They see a property that they fell in love with it at first glance. It's their dream property. And having not started with an attorney, and they now have a surveyor do a survey report and found out that there are breaches. This is the time they are running to the attorney. That's why I said you want to get the attorney from the onset. So these inquiries can be done. The attorney will pull, before even having you sign the sale agreement, we will pull the title, the most updated version of the title, because oftentimes the vendor will send you a copy of the title, but it's the lawyer's duty. We're protecting your interest to, whether it be online or we send our bearer down to the title's office and we pull a certified copy to see what is the latest iteration done on the title. Because unbeknown to the purchaser, oftentimes, there are caveats. There are encumbrances on the title that prevent it from being for affecting any transaction on the title. These are some of the issues, checks that must be done prior going into a sale agreement. Now, let us say, on a more positive note, we have done our checks, we have done our inquiries, and everything is turning out just fine. Just fine. Boundaries are intact. The title is free and clear of all encumbrances. Negotiations have been settled and concluded. So we are now at a place where the terms and conditions are realizable to both parties and achievable. So it's time to sign this agreement. Now, I appreciate that our fellow brothers and sisters are in faraway lands, all scattered all over the world, and the anxiety now sets in. Here you're going to enter into a sale agreement. You have to expend a deposit to send back home. This is where we as attorneys, experienced attorneys, offer you that peace of mind to say, look, your interest is protected. And by that, we walk with you throughout the entire process. Now I give another example. I heard mention of notarizing documents. And yes, the Jamaican consulate is in any country an acceptable signatory to these documents. But let me clarify something here. The sale agreement is a contract. It's a contract between both parties. I may need to have offline discussions with my partners, NHT, and to see what if they will be amenable to accepting as such. But the sale agreement is a contract that does not necessarily have to be notarized by a notary of the public. What needs to be notarized is the transfer of land form. That is a document that will be going to the tax office, the stamp office. That is a document that will be going to the titles office. That is the government issued document that needs to be notarized. Because that is the document that's a government issued document. The sale agreement can be notarized, but can be witnessed by a magistrate, can be witnessed by the equivalent of a JP in Jamaica. But it is not, it doesn't invalidate the transaction. If, and note carefully, I'm separating two documents, the sale agreement on the one hand and the transfer of land. The transfer of land must be notarized by a notary or the equivalent. That is a government issued document. The sale agreement, which is the contract between the vendor and the purchaser, preferably, we would love to have it notarized by a notary, but I'm listening to the concept. And I know that it's a contract that doesn't necessarily have to be notarized by a notary of the public. I will have in the Q&A section, I'll ask NHD to comment if they would accept such. But from a legal perspective and transactions that have been successfully executed, persons in the United Kingdom and so forth, where I understand in some countries the cost of getting a document notarized can be very exorbitant. And especially if I courier 3 copies of the sale agreement and 2 copies of the transfer of land document, that's 5 copies. I was told a notary was charging somewhere about 100 and something pounds, when at the end of it came out to about 800 and something pounds. Very exorbitant. That's almost 100,000 in Jamaica just to get documents notarized. So we need to have this discussion and explore it further with our partners here, how we can assist our fellow citizens in the diaspora for ease of process and transacting as it relates to real estate. All right. Now, I heard questions asked about what are the other fees. I'd just like to give some clarity there. There's a half stamp duty. So stamp duty is $5,000 Jamaican dollars, and that fee is borne between the vendor and the purchaser. So the purchaser will be responsible for $2,500 Jamaican dollars. There's half registration fee. The registration fee is borne equally between both parties. Similarly, the letters of possession. And Ms. Higgins, is rather unfortunate that at the end of your transaction, you are not in possession of these letters. that would facilitate or allow you to register the utility services or even the maintenance, the HOA, as in your jurisdiction. Those pre-contractual inquiries were not done.
Right. And can I add something?
Sure.
Because like it was a strata, right?
Yeah.
And like after like my realtor, she was telling me that the lawyer, she was supposed to like access these things like the laws that govern the strata, stuff like that. And I think a part of this was because she was cheap, because normally she was cheap. And so I just went with her because like I think the normal rate, like she was way below the normal rate, probably 2.5%. And like someone recommended her to me and was like, yeah, she'll do it. And I just thought, yeah, a lawyer's a lawyer. I'll just go ahead. And I was happy at first until I realized like she missed out on
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to add.
Okay. And well, and I said that's rather unfortunate what happened, but you consider yourself lucky.
No.
Because the strata could have lodged a caveat for those outstanding sums that were owed, and that would have prevented the transaction from going through. All right. I've handled matters whereby on both respects, whereby the head of the strata came to me to lodge the caveat on their behalf for a homeowner who has outstanding monies due. So let us continue. So we're in the transaction.
Douglas, I'm sorry, but we're a little bit behind schedule.
Yes,
It's almost 10 p.m. in China,
right,
and we still have
I'm going to
two more
speed it up
speakers.
quickly.
Okay, thank you.
So your mortgage representatives you should have your pre-qual before. So having your sale agreement, taxes, your vendor, the vendor will provide your tax certificate. That the tax certificate will indicate that the taxes are up to date because the property cannot be transferred if there are outstanding taxes. Right? So your mortgage institution will give you a list of all the documents, all the required documents that you will need in order to facilitate the mortgage application. We will assist to ensure that all of those are in place. And once that is completed, the mortgage application is submitted. We will also be the liaison between yourself and the mortgage institution to ensure that there's no lag time. There are no lag times. I've seen sometimes where there are personal relationships, which can be to the benefit and sometimes the detriment. So persons fall ill, persons go on leave, and your mortgage application sits on a desk until that person resumes. And remember, I started by saying the transaction is time-based. So it is important that the lawyer is informed every step of the way, is kept in the loop, so you're all the way in a faraway land, so the lawyer is here protecting your interest to ensure that this transaction goes through smoothly. What you will receive from the mortgage institution is a letter of undertaking, right? To say that they undertake to pay the sums that they would have issued in the pre-qual, having satisfied all the conditions laid out in your pre-qual. They will issue a letter of undertaking. Now, the undertaking coupled with your deposit, and if there are any residual sums owed, let us use a term, closing costs. Once all of those have been settled, the vendor will be in a position to transfer the property into your name. And quickly, I'd just like to wrap up. There is the post-completion, and that's where Miss Higgins, this is the post-completion. So having the lawyer having sent, the institution having sent over the letter of undertaking, we call it LU for short. We don't leave you on your own just like that. We want to ensure that the property is in the same condition it was in prior to entering into the agreement. Nothing has happened since the transaction, we started the transaction to the end of the transaction, that will prejudice your interest, right? So we start pre-contractual right up to post, right? I know we're strapped for time. I have a lot more to
We
go, but I
appreciate
leave my
that,
contact
Mr. Stewart. Yes,
in the
please
chat.
do.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I greet you all very well.
Thank you so much, so much. We move on to Karen King, CEO of Immaculate Maintenance and Construction Company. Welcome, Mr. King. Mr. King. Is he here?
Okay. Yes, he's sure.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. A warm and heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you on behalf of Immaculate Maintenance and Construction with our partners, Integrated Diaspora Services. It is an absolute pleasure to set the stage of understanding for why invest in real estate in Jamaica and why choose IMC to build your dream. So we'll have our video first to introduce IMC. Here in the video?
We're not hearing the video, sir.
No. I don't think the videos work very well. You may just have to talk us through it.
Please do.
Look. Tell me if you're hearing now.
Yes, we're hearing it now.
Okay.
Are you ready to turn your construction dreams into reality? Look no further. Welcome to Immaculate Maintenance and Construction. A proud partner of the Integrated Diaspora Services Company, we value serving our Jamaican diaspora and international property investors around the globe. Welcome to Immaculate Maintenance and Construction, where excellence meets passion and innovation takes center stage. Why settle for the ordinary when you can have the extraordinary? At IMC, we are on a mission to redefine the construction industry in Jamaica. Here's why you should choose us over the rest. Our team of skilled professionals is the backbone of our success. With unrivaled expertise in every aspect of construction, we're driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence. From architects, draftsmen, quantity surveyors, and engineers to project and site managers, contractors, and skilled craftsmen, we have assembled the best talent to bring your vision to life. Innovation is at the heart of everything we do. We embrace the latest technologies, cutting-edge equipment, and advanced construction techniques to ensure that every project is executed with precision and efficiency. We are not afraid of shaking up the industry to give our client the best presentation and design, and so we adapt the overseas architectural business model of success. Our goal soon is to upgrade from 3D modeling to virtual reality simulations. We are leveraging innovation to exceed your expectations. Safety is our utmost priority. We believe that a safe work environment is the foundation for outstanding results. We are committed to ensuring that our workers enter the site wearing the proper protection and having a site inspector on site to avoid any horseplay or commotion. We believe in building a better future for generations to come. Our commitment to sustainability is reflected in every project we undertake. From eco-friendly materials to energy-efficient designs, we incorporate sustainable practices that minimize our environmental footprint and contribute to a GRE. So why settle for anything less than exceptional? Choose Immaculate Maintenance and Construction and experience the difference. Together, let's build your dreams, one brick at a time. Contact us now.
Okay, so why invest in real estate in Jamaica and why choose IMC to build your dream? The speaker is myself, Tajay Dunn, Head Architectural Designer of IMC, and we'll also have Mr. King, CEO and Managing Director of IMC. So now what we want to cover is basically owning real estate in Jamaica, the construction industry of Jamaica, why choose IMC, and or show our past and current projects. Now, is there really a demand for the real estate industry in Jamaica? There is a surging demand for housing and commercial buildings in Jamaica. This unprecedented growth has been propelled by a combination of factors, including population expansion and urbanization. As a result, we find ourselves at the forefront of a remarkable opportunity, one that calls up real estate developers and construction firms to rise to the occasion and contribute to the flourishing construction industry. According to the Bank of Jamaica, the prices of real estate have experienced an average annual increase of 7.5% over the past decade. This surge is prominent in the luxury property market, indicating the heightened interest from both local and international buyers. Are housing schemes profitable in Jamaica as an investor? We've seen foreign developers started investing in this area, buying huge acres of land in the urbanized parishes of Jamaica, whether it be luxury schemes on the popular north coast of Jamaica, which is in high demand by returning residents. And we've also seen NHT contribute to this industry by building affordable housing in these urbanized cities for young professionals. Typically, to see a profit, you just need to take into consideration the great location, the affordability and sustainability of the property, and the property being aesthetically pleasing. Now, is there a profit in commercial properties in Jamaica as an investor? So just like the housing schemes and other residential properties, you just need to take into consideration the location buying these commercial properties in, the rental income of these businesses that utilize these buildings, and the flexible service functionality. Now, to back up the argument of the real estate industry in Jamaica, we've seen from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica before COVID, there was an average growth increase for real estate industry by 0.9%. During the lockdown, the real estate industry was one of the last industries to be hit by the COVID, and it wasn't a drastic drop like the other industries. After COVID, there was a drastic rise in the real estate industry, showing 5.2% growth and averaging around 2% growth during the quarter of 2021 to 2022. Now, factors that makes the real estate industry successful in Jamaica. We have to take into consideration that tourism is one of the major factors. We've seen that property owners have used their properties as Airbnb, where they utilize popular tourist destinations along the North Coast. And so they usually buy properties close to the North Coast, renovate them, utilizing our service to renovate them, and turn them into Airbnbs. We've also seen factors like the economic growth explained recently, with the GDP growth of Jamaica averaging around 1.5%. This has led to the increased demand for commercial and residential real estate, particularly in the urban areas. We've seen government initiatives. One such is the NHT Housing Trust, where they have been a part of the housing schemes, creating affordable housing for young professionals, especially in the Kingston area, which is urbanized. And we've seen demographic trends. One such new one is the container homes, which are also affordable, that was introduced by the Kingston Logistics. Now, one such factor that IMC has been a part of is the economic growth. So one of our recent clients that is overseas in England, we did design for them. Also, we'll be doing the construction for Karmic Apartments that will be in the north coast of Jamaica in St. Anne. Another factor that we've been a part of is the demographic trend. So we've seen most of our clients buying old properties and coming to IMC to basically look for designs to renovate them and resell them for a greater profit. So one such property that we are redesigning is the Portmore development house. So the construction industry of Jamaica. The construction industry is basically contributing around 7% of the country's GDP and employs thousands of Jamaicans in various capacities. We've seen that most of our clients also come to us basically with experience and they're showing reluctancy based on how experience before with immature work from people without the trained background, producing immature work, spaces that are non-habitable and breaching the building codes. And sometimes we even have these companies popping up online that are basically involved in scamming. So one such way of reducing that is basically to use the Companies Office of Jamaica website to know if a company is registered with them. And IMC has been a part of that within the Companies Office of Jamaica. So why choose immaculate maintenance and construction? What our clients realize with IMC is that we have a skilled workforce. So we have a highly skilled and motivated workforce where we have qualified people in these backgrounds. And usually because the industry is evolving constantly, we usually have one workshop per month, which basically invests in training and developing our staff members. We also are a company that have a customer-centric approach where we communicate constantly with our clients, updating them constantly around 2 times per week via a WhatsApp group that we usually create with clients that work with IMC. So this has allowed our company to build a strong client relationship based on trust, transparency, and open communication. Another thing with IMC is that we deliver exceptional quality. Our company strive for excellence in every aspect of our work, and we ensure that our projects meet the highest standard of quality, craftsmanship, and durability. This is why we invest in the skilled professionals with the notable background to produce these quality works. We also have a reputation and branding, being in the industry for 5 years with a skilled workforce that has experience doing projects from the small scale to the multi-billion scale projects. We can have Mr. King now to input on such factors of IMC.
All right. Thank you, Sir Don. You probably would have said most of it. Just to wrap it up, just say that Integrated Diaspora Service and Immaculate Construction, brother sister company, we work well together over the last couple of years since IDS have been around. In fact, where we have our office is also where IDS office is. So IDS and Immaculate Construction, of course, work together. And I must also say, Nardia and myself would have gone back to university together, high school. So it's our friendship association connection that goes way back. And we understand the issues that facing the industry, especially in the construction industry. So the goal between IDS and IMC is to bring some amount of transparency, communication, and trust within the industry. So once you contact IDS in terms of construction, then automatically it's going to, going to be part of Immaculate Construction. So I will understand the misconstruction that is happening in the diaspora. So you build a house, you send money to build a house, and then when you come here, you realize there's no house, there's no money, and all of that. That's not the same situation with IMC and IDS. From day one, we started communication, accountability, setting up our human resource system in place. So the strategies of communication, accountability between both entities, which are partner companies, work to safeguard your interests wherever you are in the world, to ensure that there is some amount of greater accountability. And I must say, based on the data for IMC and IDS in the construction department, most of our customers are overseas customers who so far have been enjoying the experience. Also, they will tell you that they would have been to 3, 4, 5 other companies, and they actually stick with us because of the communication, the openness, the integrity. Whatever we say we're going to do, we do it. And another thing is time and result oriented, and make sure that we deliver. And sometimes these are the factors that prevent people from just not building but purchasing, the fear of incompletion and not getting quality. And we can reassure you that with IDS and IMC partner companies, we can deliver a world-class service to anybody wherever you are in the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King.
So usually when clients are interested in working with IMC, we have an approach in where we have first the initial consultation. This is the stage where the client set up a meeting with us, where they basically talk to us, go through the requirement they want for the project they need. They include the budget they're on, the timeline they need the project done within, and any specific features or design elements they want in that building. So we usually also give them a client brief form to fill out that also has these sections for the budget, the timeline, all of that. So we also, after the initial consultation.
Ajay, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we're really over our time, and I'd love to have this information. Maybe you could post this in the chat, the steps for people who would like to, or your contact information for those who'd like to learn more about the different steps in consulting with, and then we can have them reach out to you directly. How about that?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
And we have a few questions, I think, Jennifer. Oh, someone is asking about the portfolio.
Yes.
Which you could share directly in the groups. Please see inside the group, there are a few questions that are being asked. You could probably respond directly to everyone, and then we can see that. Thank you so much for sharing.
There's a concern here.
Okay.
I've reached out to VMBS about 2 properties I saw on the platform.
We could put that in the final Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that one in the final Q&A. And finally, we're going to hear, you mentioned IDS a few times in your presentation. So we are going to reach out to Major Stanley Ford, who will now give us some closing remarks about IDS. And if you have any questions for IDS about their services, you can also put that in the group, and Jennifer will do a final Q&A after Major Ford. So Major Ford, you can go ahead, please. You're muted.
Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. I'll be very brief. Just doing an overview. I'll share my screen. like to share my screen if I can. Okay. Yes. Okay, and this is just to give an overview of the services that we provide. Now, I listened keenly to a number of the persons as they did their presentation, and starting with Kareem and some of the problems she ran into while she was doing, she was purchasing her property or her home in Jamaica. And then I listened to Kamisha from NHT, and of course the rep from VM and from JN. And this is why we at IDS like to say we are the one-stop shop, because we are the company that will pull all these things together that you want. So, for example, the services we will facilitate in you purchasing property in Jamaica. These are listed there in the list on the left-hand side here. We will look at your TRN situation. If you did not have a TRN number before, then we will assist in getting that. If you had one and it was lost, then we will try to retrieve it. We will retrieve it for you. As you have heard mentioned so many times that you can't do business in Jamaica without a TRN. Then, of course, the NHT, we will assist you, as we work very closely with NHT, we will assist you in understanding or getting feedback as to what your contribution status is, and to facilitate you in all ways possible with the NHT, and how they can therefore assist you maybe in the purchasing of your property at the end of the day. If there's a birth certificate that's required, we can get that for you. Legal services, as it was mentioned by attorney, this is critical and it should start at the beginning of the process. Well, IDS will facilitate that. And of course, I will just quickly pass over construction services because you heard such a good presentation from Immaculate, and yes, we work closely, or they are a part of IDS, you could say. Property management, we do that also. So if you buy a property in Jamaica and you want to rent that property, whether short-term or long-term, or you want to use it as an Airbnb, then IDS will also do that. Property valuation, naturally, this is a process that has to be done before you, you acquire your property. Surveying will be carried out because we have the team that will do that. Renovations, if there's a property to be renovated, again, our construction team will be brought in and they will facilitate that. Mortgages, we work closely with VM, JN, which are notable and reputable financial institutions, so as to get a mortgage. Looking into the pre-qualifications so that time is not wasted, and of course, arrange for the mortgage. We also do get involved in shipping and logistic business. That is, if you want to purchase items from overseas, you know, you might want to build with some marble tiles and all that fancy thing, looking like the Greek Greeks used to do. So you might want to bring in that type of thing, we will assist you in your purchasing and your shipping of these stuff to Jamaica. On the other hand, very quickly, we assist also in business and charity registration. So this is separate and apart from what we do for you purchasing property and building in Jamaica. But we will assist in business and charity registration. We will also assist in processing your NIS, the research into NIS, what funds you might have there, or if you want to get involved in the NIS scheme, we will accommodate or we will assist in that. For persons who need to renew their Jamaican passport, this is one of our regular services, along with renewal of Jamaican driver's license, and so on. Legal services, we provide also other legal services that of a non-real estate nature. So you might want legal service for something else, not to do with land or property, but we also will facilitate that. Marketing services, we will assist you in marketing your business and getting the exposure that is required. And finally, we assist students who have the desire to study abroad, and also persons who might want to work abroad. We try to assist them as much as possible. We have a program for that, right? And I know quickly in the video that was shown, it mentioned about the care. We do facilitate elderly persons who need medication purchased and delivered to them. So we also will assist there. Okay, and so this is why we are the one-stop shop, and you can reach us worldwide. I have put our contact detail in the chat, so you can access it there. Thank you very much on behalf of IDS for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll now accommodate questions for the IDS. If you have any questions for either Nordia or Mr. Ford, or for Immaculate Maintenance and Construction Company, you can ask that question now. Just indicate by raising your hand in the reactions, using the reactions button.
Type, please type.
To take a longer time to read it, to read all the questions. So if you just raise your hand in the reactions icon, using the icon, we will be able to answer your questions immediately. So I see Tracy War. Please go first, then Ashwani Barnes. Tracy, go first, please.
Okay, so I'm really happy to hear that a company like IDS exists after all. I was even planning to start one for people in the diaspora, especially if you don't have the support of families to sort things out for you. So I hope it's really real. No disrespect. Because I'm ready to employ
it's very real. It's very real, Tracy.
I'm ready to employ your services. So the thing is, when I was leaving Jamaica in 2019, and I went to the tax office because I wanted to sort out being able to capitalize on my NHT benefits, and the NHT, I don't even know where to start, but it's just so crazy that you have some amount of funds, but the NHT refused to help you because you're not paying the taxes. I was living in Japan for quite some time, and I returned wanting to capitalize, and they told me because I'm not paying taxes, I cannot. They told me that I really have, I don't know, it was crazy. Anyways, I went to the tax office, and the ladies promised me that I should call her in January of 2020, and she will help me to go on the tax portal and sort out the taxes, and I can start making my contributions from here in China. And I called her, and for the life of me, she never responded at all. So it was an empty promise. So can what's this company called again? Sorry.
IDS.
IDS.
Yes, yes, please.
Integrated Diaspora Services.
Yes. Please
Yes,
leave
can
your,
you do
your
this for
contact
me?
information there.
Can you do this? Can you sort this out and go on the portal and make and I pay the money and you make the country? I don't know how to sort taxes out.
Mr.
I
Ford.
have no idea.
Tracy, just leave your contact in the chat, and Mr. Ford will contact you.
Yes,
Sorry for sounding so
or
passionate, but
yeah.
Okay,
Nordia. I see Nordia is back up.
Nordia will contact you.
Okay.
Just leave your
okay.
contact.
Okay, Ashwani Barnes, quickly. Go ahead. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Hi, thank you everyone for your contribution tonight. I'll just be
We're not hearing you clearly.
Not hearing you.
We're not hearing you, Ashwani.
Can you hear me now?
Ashwani. A little
Your
bit
signal
clearer.
is not very good.
Just a sec.
Okay, Ashwani, could you please type because we're not hearing you at all?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, better.
Okay, sorry about that. Just really quickly, for IDS, do you provide like consultation services, just, to get all of this information outside of the forum? Like, is there a cost for that? Can we just communicate with you like what we want and we kind of like hash it out, like through a one-on-one like session, something like?
That's Ashwani?
Yeah. Yes.
Certainly, Ashwani. We do this every single day.
Wonderful.
Almost 24 hours for people across the world, from Morocco, Asia, Africa. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Is there a fee? Like, do we pay for your
There's no fee for
consultation, or-
consultation. There's no
Okay.
fee for consult because we can't charge you for what we don't. We can't charge you before we hear what your needs are.
Okay.
So we need to discuss first.
Thank you, Ashwani.
So you can put your chat in. You
Yes,
can
please do.
put your information in the chat so we can reach out to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Ashwani. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Davia Roden Ivy, please go ahead. Davia.
Hi, my question is for the construction company. I sent it in the chat.
It's hard to find now with all the responses.
That's okay. I'll look for it for you. That's okay.
Last one.
For the last
All
one.
right. And you're asking for advice. What would you give to those that, for instance, who had an architect in China design your future home for you in Jamaica, and the intention is to bring the blueprint home to build their home? Immaculate, what do you advise?
All
Can you
right.
do that?
Okay. Good morning again. Good night, I guess, to those in China. All right. So with that, that's possible. What I would say is, what we'd have to do is create that layout and that plan. Once it can work with the building codes, whatever it is, we'd have to fit it back to the building code and the construction regulations here in Jamaica. And once it fits in and review that with the municipal corporation and they are okay with it, then we can proceed. So it becomes back to wherever you want to construct it to the municipal corporation, and they are okay and review and amend it to fit our own jurisdiction when it comes down to the construction industry, then we should be good with that.
And
And we will guide you in that process.
There's a fee?
Yes, there's a fee, and the fee is more external. If we have to amend, which more than likely we'll have to do, amend the plan, then there's a fee on our side, which will be cheaper than we doing it from scratch. Also, there are external charges for the municipal corporation based on the size and the location of the building, and whether it's residential or commercial.
So there are different factors to consider.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, now we'll take questions for VMBS. We had one person who had a question or concern for VMBS. Go ahead. VMBS, okay, for Jamaica National. Do you have any questions for Jamaica National? Let's go through the chat.
I have a question for the lawyer that someone posted. They're asking what's the average fee Douglas Stewart, they're asking, what is the average fee to retain your services if we're purchasing property?
Okay. Primarily, the cost is a percentage of the value of the property. Through these strategic partnerships, we tend to offer very competitive legal fees, ranging anywhere between 3 to 5%.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So do we have any questions for NHT? Any questions for the National Housing Trust? Yes, please. Ashani, go ahead.
Yeah, I just the NVS had mentioned that they partner with NHT with like the loan, like combining the loan amounts and stuff like that. I was just wondering if they have a similar option with JN Bank as well.
Yes, we do. We do partner with JN for financing, so you'll still be able to get the NHT loan amount at the applicable interest rate and the additional amounts that you need from JN as well. And just to say one thing, because I know time is against us, I know that persons living outside of Jamaica may find it difficult to do business with us. And so again, I place my contact number in the chat where you have questions or concerns. Please reach out to me. The telephone number that I also provided, if you call and you don't get me, you can leave a WhatsApp message as well, and we will respond so that the process is much easier for you. Okay, so that's my commitment to the group in the diaspora.
And I'm happy, I'm really happy to be honest, they have Kamisha on board, because I think people are getting accustomed to what IDS does. We have to rally back on all of these organizations 24/7, Lady Jen, when people are asleep at night. We're
IDS, you can WhatsApp me anytime.
Yeah, make sure.
I'll be contacting IDS. I know that for sure.
Yes. So we're bullish about serving, and we want to ensure that as the question that person asks, almost all the financial institutions in Jamaica have a joint financing service that is joint financing between NHT and the institution. So they go to JN, VM, NCB, JMMB, Sagicor. Once you're a contributor and it's up to date, you can access joint financing. And the beauty about it is a one-stop shop concept in joint financing. You don't have to run down the road to NHT and then go back up the road to VM. No, through the institution like VM, like here, they will facilitate that part, having a liaison with NHT to ensure that one-stop experience is there for you.
One more thing though, as it relates to the joint finance mortgage program, we are making some changes internally to that program. And of course, we're inviting all financial institutions to again partner with us so that the process is as seamless for you as it is now. So there are some changes coming. I see Pet space is up now, so I don't know if Pet wanted to add to that, but we have some changes coming to the JFM program. It will no longer be called JFM, but where it relates to you, the customer, it doesn't change. Your loan amount remains the same. Your interest.
I guess maybe in the end, lady,
there are some changes coming. And Pet, tell us
maybe we have to do something.
That you're on board with us. I don't know yet, but you can.
We are working through the agreement, Kamisha, but it has not stopped our contributors getting their benefits. I know we were speaking with Loy up to last week about the manual process, but we're getting there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
One more question. Yes, go ahead.
One more question. Can we get a loan from JN and later get another loan from NHT for a different property? Can we do that?
If you can get a loan through NHT.
Yes, and then get another one from any of the banks.
Yes, only that you'll access your NHT only once.
Yes.
As a first-time homeowner.
Right.
So I believe the amount will be now 7.5 million starting July 1, right, Kamisha? Now it's 6.5. But yes, you can have many properties even after you've gotten through. Yeah, yes, that's possible. Yeah.
Okay.
I see a hand, Tracy. Do you have any more questions?
Yes,
Tracy,
I have, yes.
Go ahead quickly.
Yes, I do. Okay, so this question is for JN. So I just need confirmation that I can open a bank account with JN via their distant remote customer service.
Or remote customer service representative. Yes. So that's why I took your name, Tracy, and someone will be calling you right now or very soon to start that process.
Okay. And then also regarding your concierge services, so airport pickups. So if I'm in Montego Bay or Kingston, I can call. Who do I call? Have you got a number or anything like that, please?
All the information in the chat as well.
Yes.
Just scroll up, Tracy. It's there.
Yes. Go ahead, Tracy.
So even if in the UK, Tracy, you want pick up from UK or Dubai, just call
No,
us.
I feel like when it's time to scroll up, that it sounds like a needle in a haystack. Now, where do I go? What scroll up? How far?
All right, I put it in the chat. Who is this, Tracy?
Tracy.
Yes.
Tracy.
I'll send you something directly, Tracy.
Okay, so is it integrated diaspora services that also provide this service?
One-stop shop.
One. I know it's probably not. It's hard to accept that it's true, but it's true.
Contact them first, and then everybody else, they'll help you with everybody else. Right, Nordia? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so thank you. Nicolene, over to you.
Yes. Closing. Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you got your questions answered. And for those who, because of limited time, you're not able to get an answer for your questions, we have lots of contacts floating in the group, in the chat. So please do copy and paste. You can actually copy everything and paste onto your computer so you can contact each person individually. And thank you so much, IDS, Nordia, Amish, the rest of the team. Thank you so much for being a part of today's activity. We couldn't do this without you. We really appreciate working with you, and we look forward to future webinars as we explore how to assist the diaspora in this part of the world in doing business in Jamaica. So thank you so much. My appreciation also to Major Ford. Thank you so much for sharing with us on behalf of IDS. And Jenny, you want to thank the rest of our presenters?
Oh, thank you, Mr. King. You did the opening prayer. You prayed for God's wisdom, and indeed, He has blessed us today with so much information. Thank you so very much. Amish Henry, you're working behind the scenes, monitoring our Zoom and our questions and recordings. Thank you so much. Nordia, kudos. Oh my gosh, how do you manage everything? I'm sure that person will be contacting you, including myself. So please, your phone will be, ringing off the hook. Thank you so very much. Suzette Rochester Lloyd from VMBS, thank you so much for sharing. We have learned a lot, and I'm sure that person will be contacting you about your services. Kamisha Samuel Smith from NHT. Wow, there are so many new products coming out, and the rate is going up. I will personally be contacting you. NHT, thank you so very much. Mr. Douglas Stewart, our lawyer. We have so much to talk about, sir. Please, persons, he's here. He has let his contact in the chat. Please contact him for his services. Believe me, we will need a lawyer to move forward with our purchases. Thank you so very much. Am I leaving out anybody else? Mr. James, yes, from the JN Group. Thank you so very much for sharing. And we have learned a lot. Thank you. Mr. Ford, And to the beautiful Nicolene, thank you so much, my host, for bringing all of this together. My colleagues, Jamaican colleagues, thank you for coming on board, asking your questions. You are truly making a positive move in purchasing your own home on our Jamrock. Pursue, purchase, and prosper. Thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All good.
Bye.
God bless.
And
Thank
we'd like,
you.
thank you. And before you leave,
Bye,
I'd just like to
Sylvester.
remind you that we have a recording of this. So if you did scan and sign up, we will post right now, dear. We'll have a recording available for you to listen again at your convenience. And for those of you who are in China, like I said before, I am based in Shanghai. I've been here 26 years. And if you have any questions about life in China, for those of you who are new, or if you have any questions about how to navigate, life here, please do reach out to me. We're in the WeChat group here. So you can reach out to myself, you can reach out to Jennifer, and we will be hosting other events in the future. So if you would like to hear about a specific topic, please also reach out to me and we will arrange that. And we do have a Jamaican association. We have not been very active this last year, but we're looking and we're recruiting new members. So if you're interested in being a part of the JAC, please reach out to me. We're looking for new exec and leaders to take over, and we started in 2019, and we're looking for new people to be a part of that. So please also reach out to me. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Jennifer. Wonderful working with you.
We rise by lifting others. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night. Good morning. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tracy. It's great to not see you.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Nordia, as usual, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Nordia.
Thank you so much. And we look forward to some future webinars.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
Are we getting a song too?
Thank you.
I choose IDS because they bring our hearts back home.
Hearts back home, the place I know, the place I go. My heart's back home, from the roots I grow. It's time to go. Truth coming from the heart, we get our strength from where we start. Integrated, not apart, rejuvenated, strong, believe belong. Every day we have to work hard. There's a pride, there's a job, so we must go on. Make use of the time at hand. Apply yourself the best we can. Ups and downs on the journey, we're a purpose called. There are wins and learnings. Composed to the turnings, things will turn away. A desire burning. My heart's back home. The place I know, the place I go. My heart's back home. From the roots I grow, it's time to go. Truth from the heart, we gain our strength from where we start. Integrated, not apart, rejuvenated, strong. Believe belong, calling it a movement. Oh, we're calling it a movement. Rejuvenated, strong. Believe belong.
Okay. Bye, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Elton.
Bye.
Bye, and Lisa.
Bye, Alice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.